This is Bridge with Stephen. Today we're going to tackle the fourth of four parts on the topic of hand evaluation. If you've heard or seen the YouTubes on the other three parts, then you already know that the first two parts deal with points. High card points, length points, shortness points, and the second part dealt with how those points were arranged. Are your points mostly in the form of primary honors or secondary honors? Are they clustered in a few suits rather than spread throughout the hand? Do they lead your long suits? Those kind of considerations. Last time we talked about other ways of evaluating hands apart from points. We looked at things like playing tricks, quick tricks, losing trick count, and a few other things that we'll be using now to try to help make decisions at the bridge table. So now we've reached part 4, putting it all together. So the first thing we're going to talk about are different methods that people have come up with for deciding on when to open. We have a different set of rules for opening in first and second seat than we do for third seat, than we do for fourth seat. So here's one way of looking at when to open. Some experts would recommend that we should have 2.5 quick tricks to open a hand in the first and second seat, plus one of the following 3 other things. Either 13 valuation points, and you may recall the valuation points were high card points plus distribution points, whether those were length or shortness points. We either have to have the 13 valuation points with our 2.5 quick tricks, or 7 or fewer losers, losing trick count, or the hand has to be a rule of 20 hand, which we said was the number of high card points plus the length of the 2 longest suits have to equal 20 or more. Okay, another scheme for opening in first and second seat says we can do it with as little as 2 quick tricks and either 12 high card points. Notice this is different than the 13 valuation points, and maybe this might also be 13 valuation points if there's a 5-card suit, for example. Or, if we don't have 12 high card points, we can open with 11 high card points if we have either a good 6-card suit with at least 4.5 high card points in the suit, counting 10s as a half point, or we have 2 decent touching 5-card suits. And the reason the suits have to be touching, they have to be clubs and diamonds, or diamonds and hearts, or hearts and spades, is because we're going to bid the higher ranking suit first, and we don't want a partner coming in between our 2 suits. So for example, for 2 suits that bid hearts and clubs, and we opened 1 heart, and partner had bid 2 diamonds, we cannot bid our clubs now except at the 3 level. But when our suits are touching, that can't happen to us. If we open 1 heart, whether the partner bids spades, no trump, clubs, whatever, we'll be able to bid 2 diamonds. So that's the thinking here. Also, I would say you should open any 11 high card point hand that has 2 5-card suits, one headed by the ace, another headed by the ace-king. Okay, for third seat, we relaxed our standards a little bit. If there have been 2 passes already, instead of, you may recall that the typical opening hand is 13 valuation points, 7 or fewer losers, and 2.5 quick tricks. Here, everything's just a little bit worse. 11 valuation points, 8 losers, and 2 quick tricks is good enough to open in third seat. You may recall also that this is approximately what a limit raise looks like, but that's a response. Here we're talking about opening. Another thing about third seat is we can relax our preempting standards. Here's a hand that's probably too weak for you to open 2 spades in most, certainly in first or second seat. But by the time you get to third seat and partner's a passed hand, you've got 2 passes, you've got this weak hand, you've got a left-hand opponent that you haven't heard from yet, it's almost certainly going to open. This is a nice place to throw in a 2-spade bid. So we're going to relax our standards and we're going to make a weak 2 bid with a hand that's a little weaker than our usual range. And here's a hand that's stronger. This hand, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13 high card points. You might argue that this hand can be opened 1 diamond, but partner's a passed hand and opening 3 diamonds might be more effective. Okay, in fourth seat, first thing, we don't preempt with weak hands. We don't have to open at the 1 level, we can open at the 2 level, but it's not a weak 2 bid. When we make, let's say, a 2-heart bid in the fourth seat after pass, 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 we probably ought to have about 11 to 15 points in the 6-card suit. We're not preempting in the fourth seat. A lot of people use what's called the rule of 15, in which we add our high card points plus the number of spades. And if we have 15 or more high card points plus spades, then we can open in fourth seat, otherwise not. And here are 3 hands to look at. The first 2 hands are really the same hand with the spades and the hearts turned around. The first hand has 10 high card points, 2 quick tricks, 7 losers. It's not a rule of 20 hand, but it is a rule of 15 hand because with its 10 high card points and 5 spades, 10 plus 5 is greater than or equal to 15. So this is a hand that wouldn't be appropriate to open in first or second seat. We might open it in third seat. We probably would. But we can open it in fourth seat. However, when we turn the spades and hearts around, the high card points, quick tricks, losing, trick count, and rule of 20 assessments haven't changed, but the rule of 15 is now no longer met. We still have 10 points, but with only 2 spades. 10 plus 2 is 12, and that's not going to allow us to open in fourth seat. Take a look at this hand. This is a little stronger. 12 high card points, 2.5 quick tricks, 7 losers, and a rule of 20 hand. So it is appropriate for opening in first, second, or third seat, but it's not a rule of 15 hand, so we probably wouldn't open it in fourth seat. If there had been 3 passes and it came around to us, we might consider passing this hand. Okay, now let's look how to use our tools for deciding when to open a strong 2 clubs with less than 22 high card points. This will always be an unbalanced hand. When we have a balanced hand, we probably need the whole 22 high card points to open 2 clubs. These are the rules that have been suggested for opening with less than 22 high card points at the 2 club level. Here we're invoking the concept of playing tricks again. That's the number of tricks we expect to take in our hand with no help from partner. If our best suit is a major suit, we only need 8.5 playing tricks. But if it's a minor suit, we should have 9.5 playing tricks. We should also have some defensive strength in this hand. At least 3 quick tricks, and more quick tricks than losers. So quick tricks have to outnumber losers. Now let's look at a couple of hands and see which of these we might open 2 clubs with less than 22 points. This one has 18 high card points. Playing tricks, I'm counting all 7 spades and 3 hearts. I expect to take 7 spades and 3 hearts with this hand opposite any dummy. I should say 7 spades. So I have 10 playing tricks. I have 4 quick tricks, 2 in spades and 2 in diamonds. And the losing trick count is only 3. No losers here, no losers here, 1 loser here, and 2 losers here. This hand, even though it only has 18 high card points, is appropriate for a 2 club opening bid. Because frankly, we have 4 spades in hand. What a shame it would be to open this hand 1 spade and get passed out. So 2 clubs is one of our very few forcing opening bids, 4 no front being the other. And we're going to make a 2 club opening bid here, even though we only have 18 points. This hand, however, which is stronger, 21 high card points, we can't really assess playing tricks. In order to assess playing tricks, we have to have suits with consecutive cards, what we call texture. If it's every other card, like ace, queen, 10, 8, we call that suit serrated. And we can't really assess the playing tricks of a suit like that. So we're going to have trouble using the system if we don't have a solid suit. And here our long suit isn't solid. So with only 4 quick tricks, maybe more if you use the modified, 4 quick tricks and 5 losers, we're probably just going to open this hand 1 club. Okay, now this is an interesting idea, preempting using the rule of 2, 3, and 4. Most of us will open a 6-card suit at the 2 level with the right point count, and a 7-card suit at the 3 level, and an 8-card suit at the 4 level. This is a method that offers us 2 ways of doing it that's a little different. We might continue to only open 6-card suits at the 2 level, 7-card suits at the 3 level, and 8-card suits at the 4 level. But we also might vary from that. And I'll show you how we might do that. To use this rule, we need a suit with texture, not serrated. They have to be solid suits. This is a typical solid suit. I can count that I will probably take 5 tricks with this suit. I cannot make the same assessment with this suit or this suit because they're serrated. They have gaps between the spots. Okay, now here's the rule. The rule says that with adverse vulnerability, in other words, we're vulnerable and they're not, we can bid up to the level of our playing tricks plus 2. With equal vulnerability, we're both vulnerable or neither, we can bid up to playing tricks plus 3. And with favorable vulnerability, up to playing tricks plus 4. So let's look at a couple of hands. Look at these hands all have suits with texture. They're not serrated. This one has, we can count 4 playing tricks in spades and none anywhere else. So with only 4 playing tricks, we can't open this hand higher than 2 spades, and we can't do that unless we have favorable vulnerability, because we have to have playing tricks plus 4. And with 4 playing tricks, to open at the 2 level, we're contracting for 8 tricks. We can only do this when we're not vulnerable, and they are. Notice that normally you wouldn't open this hand at a weak 2, but according to the rule of 2, 3, and 4, you can. Here's a hand that's just a little bit better. It's roughly the same hand, but the suit's better. So now it has 5 playing tricks, which allows us to open 2 spades with equal vulnerability, and actually 3 spades with favorable vulnerability, because with 5 playing tricks, if we add 4 to that, we get up to 9. And so by this method of reckoning, we could open this hand up to 3 spades with favorable vulnerability, or 2 spades when it's equal. This hand has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 7-card suit, missing the ace-king, so we got 5 playing tricks here, and 1 more here is 6. So with 6 playing tricks, we can open this hand 2 hearts at the, we can open this hand 2 hearts, even with adverse vulnerability. Now you might say it's a 7-card suit, why would I open 2 hearts? Obviously this is a different way of looking at things, and I just offer it here for your consideration. And then this hand here has 7 playing tricks, so the same calculation, we could, with favorable vulnerability, according to this scheme, we could actually bid up quite high. But we could certainly open this hand 3 spades with adverse vulnerability, because 7 plus 2 is 9, and we can bid to that level. Okay, this is, like I said, a kind of a controversial thing. You may or may not be interested, but I thought I'd share it with you. Now finally, we're going to look at competitive options and how we decide whether to bid again or defend. And by defend, I mean either pass or double. So these are the features of a hand that suggest that it has good defensive values. Honors in the short suits. Look at these 2 hands. They really have the same spots and the same shape. But what I've done is taken the ace, king, queen from the head of this long suit and stuck the ace, king over here and the queen over here. This hand has defensive value. This hand probably doesn't. How many spades do you expect to take on defense? If partner puts down a doubleton, you've got 9, and if the outstanding spades break 3-1, you're only getting 1 spade on defense. But this suit is good for about 7 tricks on offense. So you probably would rather keep on bidding with a hand like this, but you're more apt to want to defend with a hand like this. If you have length and strength in their suit, that makes you more interested in defending, trying to set the contract. And for this, we have what's called the rule of 9, where we add the length of our holding in their suit, plus the number of honors in that holding, plus the level of the contract that they've bid to. And if that total is 9 or more, this rule suggests that we double. So if we're holding king, jack, 10, 8, say of hearts, and they've bid 3 hearts, we add the 4-card suit that we have to the 3 honors in the suit is 7, to the 3 level is 10, and this rule says we should double. Obviously, it's going to matter a little bit whether you're playing before the heart bidder or after the heart bidder. If you have king, jack, 10, 8 behind the hand that opened 1 heart, then you probably have a better holding than if it's in front of the 1 heart. And also balance shape. Balance shape is more conducive to defending. Hands with long suits and short suits tend to be better for offense, especially when high cards are in the long suit. Okay, that's it for today.